Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and today we're going to be reviewing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1. There are a lot of Spider-Man books right now. We have Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen. I think there's one more that I'm forgetting from IDW. But here we have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We need another Peter Parker book. So here on the cover is actually really good. This is the best part about the whole book. This is mostly a negative review, but the cover is good. The art's nice. Andrew Robinson seems to have done a nice hand-painted cover here. Peter Parker in action as Spider-Man, very heroic, looks very dynamic. The colors are cool. It looks like he's zooming through New York City, about to go save somebody. So kudos on the cover. Great job. Still don't like the banner up top. I think there was a better, cooler way to honor Stan Lee, but we're beyond that problem. So here we are. We're going to go to the credits page. Tom Taylor's the writer. I don't like Tom Taylor as a writer. I don't think he writes good comics, but the last book of his I read was actually really good. It was Batman Annual #3, and it was a really good book. I thought maybe Tom Taylor's actually turned the corner and he's writing good stuff now, but no, I think Marvel just brings out the worst in his writing. Like, everything he writes for Marvel is bad. It's it's cliche. It's terrible. So, Juann Cabal is the artist. Nolan Woodard is the color artist. So right off the beginning here in this credits page, they get Peter Parker wrong immediately. So, I'll read you the first sentence. Years ago, a young, antisocial Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider. Peter Parker's not antisocial. Antisocial means that you don't conform to social norms or you don't understand them, so you can't conform to them. That's not Peter Parker. He was just an awkward teenager when he was bitten by the spider. So immediately, the editors and the writer don't get Peter Parker, and it's evident all the way throughout this book. So the first couple of pages are just him introducing himself and saying how he was frozen by fear and how he overcame it and how he's here to save people. And there's actually a pretty cool, this is the best part of the interior art, is actually this double page splash of Peter Parker as Spider-Man zooming through the city. Of course, it was already done better on the cover just a few pages earlier, but then we get into the story. Peter Parker sees a van is careening off the side of a bridge, and he decides to go into this diatribe about a pothole repair that was supposed to take 2 days, and it's on its 3rd month now, and that's what's caused this. And I don't understand why they're providing this information to the reader. It means nothing to the story. It's filler. It's a waste of information. These are opportunities to engage your audience, to engage the reader with good information, maybe build up an affinity for Peter Parker or some of the supporting cast, but they're just wasting all this space and all these words on nothing. So he finally gets to the van that's going off the cliff, and you see that there's a father and a daughter, and the father's trying to take care of his daughter. He's going to try and get her out of the van. And Spider-Man's already coming up with a plan how he's going to stabilize the van while they get out, and then the van goes over the edge. So Spider-Man acts on the next page. He dives through the window to go save the father and daughter. And here's one part of the book where the art actually doesn't look flat and devoid of anything. It looks pretty lively. The colorist did a good job of making this explosion of the van look pretty good. But you see the art. It's flat. It's dead. There's no life to this art, in my opinion. Some people might like it. In my opinion, it's bad. So Spider-Man saves the kid and the father, and he's trying to console her. And she sees the spider on his chest and goes to squish it because he's got a bug on his chest. This is the funniest part of the whole book, and it's not funny. There is no humor in this because it's SJW Marvel. It has to be devoid of humor. It has to be filled with bad dialogue, Tumblr-style art. And, of course, there's going to be a food panel. I'll show you that one. And then there's some really awkward stuff in the end, and we're getting there. We're getting there. So here, Peter Parker saves the kid. The father offers him some money, which is pretty weird. Why would somebody who just had a near-death experience, be offering Spider-Man money, but he turns it down and even takes a little bit of a swipe at Tony Stark. Do they? I bet Iron Man accepts tips. You don't get to be a billionaire by saying no to free money. Like, why would Spider-Man be thinking about Iron Man here? He just saved these people. There might be more people in danger. There's a big explosion. Keep your head in the game. But then, Spider-Man's funny. He's supposed to be pithy. He's supposed to be witty. He's supposed to be quick on his feet with a turn of phrase. But here he is. He's just being condescending to the father. And here's what he has to say. Okay, that's one way to beat the traffic. But I'd suggest next time you're better off taking the tunnel. Taking the tunnel is also a better option than crashing through a concrete barrier, falling 100 feet, and landing in a twisted pile of metal, rubble, and fire. Unless it's rush hour, in which case it's pretty comparable experience. Like, who would say this to a father who almost just died with his daughter? This is condescending drivel. Peter Parker doesn't talk to people like that. He would have been saying something to reassure them. It might have been a joke to make them laugh, to make them feel better about the situation, but he wouldn't be trying to blame the father for almost dying. So, terrible dialogue, pretty stupid. Spider-Man goes off back to his neighborhood, and here's some it's so bad. So he's running, and he sees this older lady that's, I believe her name's Marnie. She's a neighbor of his, and she's got her groceries, and he's told her he's going to take them up. And here's this bad dialogue. But yes, I remember you be done with your shopping by 12, and I don't like letting people down. And this is her response. Really? Aren't you a national disgrace? What human being would say this to somebody that was like helping them out and taking their groceries up to their apartment so they wouldn't have to carry them? Like, this is so weird. People don't communicate like that. Even if he was a national disgrace, he's doing you a favor. No one communicates like that. That's terrible. So he goes up into her apartment, and they're talking, and she lets him know that another neighbor needs his help. So he goes over to her place. He's knocking on the door. He sees that she's scared, and he's been told to bring apples. Like I said, there's food, but there's more food. So he tells her he has apples, and then she lets him in. She says, I heard you know a superhero. So on the next page, he's like, yeah, I kind of know Spider-Man. And then she says, I don't think he can help. Does he know better heroes? Like, who in need of help meeting someone that knows Spider-Man would be like, he can't help. I need a better hero. Like, you just met someone that knows a superhero. You need some help. People don't talk like that. It's so weird. I don't get it. And more examples of this really flat, lifeless art. I don't understand why they put someone like this on a Spider-Man book. Spider-Man's supposed to be your marquee character. This is supposed to be an important book. But when you put together art and dialogue like this, it feels like Spider-Man's not important. So he tells her he's going to go get her some lunch. And he goes out and he runs into some other friends, and it's insinuated that he helps them out a lot, and they just came into some money, so they want to buy him a lunch. So they go over to this hot dog vendor, and there you go. More SJW Marvel, more hot dogs. So we've got terrible dialogue, food pictures, flat art, typical SJW Marvel. I'm not going to go into any more of this book. It's bad. It's boring. I already told you the one action scene in the whole story, and that wasn't even really all that much action. I think it was like 2 pages. But we'll talk about this one last panel, because this is strange. So he's going home after a hard day. He's been knocked out, and he's got a new roommate named Fred. And he also goes by, he's a small-time villain named Boomerang. He walks in, Fred's playing some games, and he realizes Fred's in his underwear. And he's thinking about everything that's not in underwear is touching my couch. And then they have this super cringy, weird dialogue. Oh, hey, Pete. Hey, don't get up. And then he's thinking, please don't get up. I didn't hear you come in. Then he thinks, oh God, he's not in his underwear. He's in my underwear. Why are you wearing my underpants? It's January. It's one of my wash months. I wash all my underwear after the third rotation. But Pete, seriously, are these customs or something? You have to tell me where to get them. I've never moved so freely in anything. It's so bad. And look at this stance that this guy's in. People don't stand like that. Certainly not men in front of their other male roommates while you're wearing your roommate's underwear. This is like some weird 30s style pinup pose. And why is Peter Parker wearing hot pink tiger stripe bikini briefs? It's so strange. So cringe. Like I said, this is a terrible book. Don't waste your money. Thank God it's only $3.99 instead of the normal $4.99 price point that they're doing on the new books. It's not worth $3.99. This isn't worth $1. It's not worth a minute of your time. You should be thankful I read this for you because it's really bad. So that's the review. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews. Ring the bell for notifications for more reviews and commentary in the future. If you'd like to contact me, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC, or you could always email me at wesdigscomics@gmail.com. With that, Salamat po, and I'm out.